All right.
Oh, no.
Good evening, everybody. This is the Town of Fairfield Conservation Commission acting as the Inland Wetlands Agency. Today is June 17, 2026. Lucas Thomas, Richard Boucher, Peter Hood, Peter Mahoney, Ted Lipsinger, Diane Saunders, and I don't know. Sal, are you there?
He's not.
He's not. Okay. So, the names I just called, other than Sal Vassallo, are all here. If we could just stand, please. And I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and
And to the republic.
Nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I will appoint Diane Saunders as a full member for tonight's purposes. And we do have more, so that's good. Moving on to approval of draft meeting minutes. There are three. The first one is Inland Wetlands Agency Special Site Walk meeting of May 27, 2026. Are there any comments,
Yes.
corrections? Yes.
I have to
Thank
correct
you.
that.
Of
I am
course you do.
listed as an attendee and I was
No,
not at
and
that
that
site.
should say me. It should say Commissioner, Chair Lucas
Chair.
Thomas.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And glad you did. And then how about number two, and then Wetlands Agency meeting on June 3rd, 2026? Any comments? or corrections?
Question,
Yes.
under applications for receipt 41 Cherry Lane. It says the site walk is scheduled for July 29th.
Oh, that's June.
Is that correct?
I thought that's what I thought was correct, so that we see it before the August 5th meeting.
Remember, we were gonna do that, we were gonna do that before. Remember, we decided to do it closer to the August meeting?
Isn't the August meeting August 5th?
That's why we picked July 29th, right?
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
So that is correct because
Cherry Lane.
I think on our, the agenda online, it says June.
Oh, so,
I think
Right,
that's.
she's right, yeah, so I thought it was next week.
no, closer to the meeting.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
Glad you
wrong with
asked.
online. That has to be changed.
Yes, it
Oh,
should be
okay.
July 29th.
It was on my notes for the meeting.
Yeah.
Right,
There's an agenda issue?
yes.
Okay.
It should be, go ahead, Diane, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it should be, the one for 41 Cherry Lane says June, whatever the date is, maybe it says June 29th. It should be July 29th.
Okay. Or make sure that's accurate.
So the
The agenda
agenda,
is correct.
correct, the draft, the agenda itself is correct. It has July 29th. It's the online.
Is that right?
So-
The
So it
online
wasn't,
posting.
so this, we're not correcting the agenda.
The minutes, you mean.
Yes, I'm sorry, the minutes of the meeting, just whatever's online.
So just to clarify, Sarah has the agenda pulled up. The actual date on the agenda is accurate, but the clerk has listed it on
Okay,
the website.
okay.
So we'll just have
That's
them
fine.
correct that.
Yes.
But the actual agenda document is accurate.
Very good. Okay, great, yeah. Or that one's just good. And number three is Inland Wetlands Agency Special Site Walk meeting from June 10th, 2026. Any comments or corrections on that? Being none, is there a motion to approve all three?
I'll take that back. All right, I will make a motion to approve all three site walks.
And Ted,
22nd,
second.
3rd.
Okay, all in favor? All right, okay. Very good, moving on. Now we are opening this up to the public hearing portion. Number one is WP 26.0046 land check 476 Mill Hill Terrace, map 228, parcel 30. demolition of the existing structures and construction of a new single-family dwelling with stormwater retention system and associated site work within a regulated area. The decision may be made if the hearing is completed, the hearing may be continued. 35-day public hearing timeframe to complete the hearing and on July 15, 2026. An additional 65-day extension may be provided to the applicant for further public hearing continuations to September 18, 2026 are possible. Potential continuation date is August 5th, 2026. If the hearing is completed, the agency shall make a decision within 35 days, and the staff recommends approval with conditions. Hello, sir.
Hello, good evening. Commission, for the record, my name is Brian Carey. I'm a special wetland scientist with Land Tech. We have offices in Westport, Connecticut. I'm here on behalf of the applicant Exeter York LLC. We're here for WP 260046. The proposed single family demolition and family home. Let's go through this real quick. I know you have a long agenda. We did have a site walk, which I believe was 2 weeks ago. Just the existing site is a little smaller than half an acre. Again, it's an existing residence and driveway. It's located within the Saskill Brook watershed. There's wetland resources on the northeast corner of the property that were flagged by William Kenny. It's a very shallow wet meadow that has been converted into lawn over the years. It's actually not shown on the town wetland map, but there are wetlands there. The adjacent properties are all residentially developed, and it sits within on the top of Millville Terrace. Again, there's on-site and off-site wetland resources to the northeast of the property, the northeast corner of the property, and directly off-site. The 100-foot upland review area applies to a majority of the site. The site is not located in the FEMA floodplain. Here you can see the GIS of the property. This actually does have the portion of the wetland map on it. Wetlands are located in the northwest corner of the property, as shown on the site plans that have been submitted as part of the application. This is the existing survey that was submitted, showing the existing conditions. Again, there's a single-family residential house, two-story single-family residential house, a driveway along the boundary of the property, a two-car garage, and then the lot is relatively flat, and it slopes gently from Mill Hill Terrace towards the north, but generally it is overly flat. The existing wetland resources were actually flagged by Bill Kenny and Associates. There's just one wetland system on the property. Right now, it's low functioning wetlands since it's just overgrown with lawn and has been maintained by lawn. From as far as I can see in the aerial photograph record, the wetlands does extend or appears to extend onto the neighboring parcels. As part of the project, I just want to say there's no wetland impact. There's no filling, excavation, or grading or direct disturbance in the wetland. All of that will be done within portions of the upland. Proposed redevelopment activities consists of building a new two-story single-family residence. The building footprint is approximately 3,500 square feet, finished floor elevated above existing grade. There is a new asphalt driveway, approximately 2,500 square feet. The driveway apron has been redesigned to comply with the engineering department, and the patios and walkways that are proposed account for another 1,500 square feet of impervious area. Again, there's 3 infiltration systems on the property to address the stormwater management design. There is a rear system that addresses the roof and driveway runoff, a pervious patio system that provides infiltration, and a front yard system that captures runoff from residents, driveway, porch, walkways, and lawn areas. As part of the I'm going to get to the site plans, but as part of the wetland enhancement plan, we do have habitat improvements. There is a wetland planting plan that was put in place with 25 native shrubs, 60 wetland grass plantings, which is part of the native wetland meadow mix. And there is a boulder boundary marker along that edge of the wetland, which prevents future encroachment and is something that the commission generally requires. So here's the site plan. As you can see, the house is being knocked down. The new house is substantially in the same location as the existing house and existing garage. It is pushed back just a bit since the existing house is non-conforming. You can see that in the front, there's a Coltex system to the south, to the west, there's a smaller Coltex system, and then to the rear, there's a Coltex system. All would manage the additional runoff associated with the new impervious areas. We did receive an engineering review, and they did sign off saying there was a couple minor comments that we will address as part of the post-approval application process. This is just again, drainage plan. Here's the nuts and bolts. You can see the wetland line in the back. We did provide buffer plantings and a seed mix. The existing grass lawn will be removed and the area will be planted and seeded appropriately to create a wetland buffer where there is none currently. We did receive the staff findings of June 11th. We did review them. We take no exceptions to any of the findings. We can incorporate them into our plans. That will be submitted as part of the zoning application and part of the site plans that will be submitted after the permit is granted but not issued. I just want to make one clarification. There was a reference to an in-ground swimming pool in the documents. There is no proposed in-ground swimming pool as part of this application. That was a previous rendering that didn't come to fruition. I did say that the engineering department did review this and issued a staff recommendation for approval. Department staff also recommended a conditional staff approval based on a couple, three conditions, which we agree with. And that being it, I can take any questions. It's a pretty straightforward proposal. As you can see, looking at the house, it's nothing that isn't being done throughout the town of Fairfield. And it's only compliant, so it's within.
Commissioners.
The planting proposal seems very positive, Brian, of eliminating the mowed lawn, reestablishing a network in that back corner. That's very positive.
Yes, I think it adds, it increases the functional uplift of the wetland by removing the existing turf grass and providing a native plant buffer that can be utilized by local wildlife, but also help with, runoff.
And you're spot on with that for human movies. That's just, I think, the standard that we need for fences can fall, break over time, whatever.
It will be a nice aesthetic.
Yeah. If possible, I know some commissioners ask if there's a way to put a little tag on one of the boulders or
Yep.
something,
Not a problem.
just a little, but other than that, I'm good. Commissioners and this end?
And just a piece of,
Oh,
little piece of housekeeping, on page 6, the feasible and prudent alternatives. This is, I just wish you could see this on the camera. I mean, I really appreciate this. And then we have a full page after that where we're discussing summary and selection of the proposed alternative. I mean, so many times we get short shrift and I see mitigation and protective measures and I just, we call out things that we don't like, and I like to call out things that I think
I'm glad that
are
you
very
did
well
all
done.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very nice.
Thank you.
And this end?
Well, I think the proposal is very good and appreciate the pervious materials, as opposed to impervious materials. Two questions. looking at the Caltech that's closest to the wetland area. And it looks like the water flow away from the Caltech is going into a catch basin,
Yes, that's
right?
correct.
And then there's another,
More of a yard drain.
a yard drain. All right, so that's, where is that draining into? The water table
So
or?
that yard drain actually collects the water to drain into the Coltech system. So it's taking surface water and then drains it
Into the Caltech, and then the Caltech filters it?
Correct. That's correct.
I was going the other way, so that's, thank you for that clarification. And then by the driveway, same thing, it's picking up water from the driveway with the curtain drain.
Correct. There's
It's
a
going into the Caltech.
There's a trench drain, so there won't be water running off into Mill Hill Terrace. It will collect into that trench drain and be directed again into that front Coltech system so that it will drain into the subsurface.
So all of the water coming off of the impervious surfaces that are part of the building will be filtered and treated by the Caltech system.
Correct. The project meets both the water quality volume requirements and the capture requirements.
Okay, that's, I just wanted to clarify that. And then the other thing that everyone knows, my bugaboo is lighting. And since you're right next to a wetland area and the services that are provided by the animals, et cetera, there, I'd like to see if your clients would be willing to commit to dark skies compliant lighting. And any spotlights should have zero trespass onto adjoining property. It should all be shielded and aimed down and at a low intensity.
Yeah, that's not a problem. So generally that's a planning and zoning requirement, which we do meet sometimes on individual residential house applications. That doesn't always get incorporated, but that's not a problem.
Okay, good. Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay. Okay,
It's good to me.
all right. Anyone else? Okay, so that was the applicant's portion of the public hearing.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian. And again, really, chief executive. With that, is there anybody here? You know what? No. Is there anybody online that would like to speak in support of this application? Yes, is there anybody here in the room that would like to come up and speak in support of this application? Is there anybody online that would like to come and speak in opposition to this application? Is there anybody in the room that would like to speak in opposition to this application? Okay, hearing none. We could close the public hearing on this matter. Okay, and we can move on. Number 2, WP -26-0051. Redness and Mead, 121 Winton Road, at 143, parcel 163, construction of a single-family residence and associated site improvements, including the driveway, swimming pool, patios, utilities, and stormwater management system within a regulated area. The decision may be made if the hearing is completed, or the hearing may be continued. The 5-day public hearing timeframe to complete the hearing ends on July 15, 2026. An additional 65-day time extension may be provided by the applicant for hearing continuation for 2026 or possible. Potential continuation dates is August 5th, 2026. If the hearing is completed, the agency shall make a decision within 35 days. Staff recommends approval with conditions. Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you, sir?
Good, thank you. Chairman, members of the commission, for the record, my name's Bill Fitzpatrick. I'm an attorney in Fairfield with a law firm of Russo and Rizzio with offices at 10 Sasko Hill Road. I'm here tonight representing Stephen and Lindsay Johnston. Purchased the building lot here, 121 Winton Road in 2024. This property is located in the Residence AA zoning district, which has a minimum lot area requirement of 1 acre. Property here contains approximately 2.47 acres, significantly in excess of inland wetland application before the commission tonight pertains to the construction of a single-family home on the property at 121 Winton Road. Proposed home will be serviced by public water, public sewer, accessed by a driveway from Winton Road. Presentation to the commission tonight includes Craig Flaherty, professional engineer, who's the president of Redness and Mead, well-respected firm of surveyors and civil engineers with offices in Stamford. Commission will also hear a presentation from William Penny, a soil scientist and landscape architect with offices in Fairfield. I will then conclude. Before I introduce Craig Flaherty, I'd like to address a submission that was made to the Conservation Department today by a neighbor across the street from this property, Thomas Morton. And experts will address any substantive points, but I'd like to address the question of notice. Mr. Morton requested the Neighborhood Association, which is the Winton Park Association, be notified of any proposals. The fact of the matter is that my client, Stephen Johnston, as a courtesy, forwarded the entirety of the Winton Wetland application to the president of the Winton Park Association on April 24th of 2026, the day after it was filed with the town. The association has had this application in hand for over 7 weeks. So there's no question it was aware of the application. There may have been some mishap. As a result, my client received an email from the president of the Winton Park Association, Jason Brum, tonight at 6:38, which notes that he missed the earlier email. And it goes on to say, and I'd like to turn this in, because of this, I support allowing the Conservation Board to review and approve the plans tonight.
Okay.
Okay,
I was gonna get to the same place. We've had this in multiple applications. Notices our agenda. Just,
Exactly.
so you know.
Exactly.
It's
Could you
not
turn that in for me?
emails or calls to anybody or anything like that. So.
I understand.
Okay.
At this point, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to introduce Craig Flaherty, a PE and president of Redness and Mead.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Good evening. My name is Craig Flaherty. I'm a principal and senior engineer with Redness and Mead, a land use consulting company with offices in Stamford and Wilton. I am a licensed professional engineer in the state of Connecticut, and our firm is providing land surveying and site civil engineering services on this project. Here, of course, representing Stephen and Lindsay Johnston and their proposal to place their forever home at 121 Winton Road. So it's a 2.59 acre property. The survey's up on the screen right over there as well right now. There are 2 wetlands on the property, a pocket, a isolated pocket here on the left side as you're looking in from Winton Road, and the westerly wetlands over here on the right side as you're looking in from Winton Road. Just so you're not confused, the compass road is upside down on this one. North is down because we're using the street front as the bottom of the page as a drafting standard. The property, as Bill mentioned, is served by public water and public sewer. It is not in a regulatory floodplain, although there are areas of the westerly wetland that do pool in intense rainfall events. Soils were originally identified by Jim McManus and then re-verified by Bill Kenny, and that was in late 2024. Through the property, and you'll see this on the subsequent plan. Now. There are portions of a drainage system that serves the Winton Park Association. So the roads and homes and so forth have a network of pipes throughout the neighborhood, and some of those pipes cross the subject property. So we were aware of that. In fact, early on, we got a full drainage study from WPA, Winton Park Association's consulting engineer, kind of describing the whole system so we could map it and understand it and design our system around it accordingly. So to make no mistake, the goal for our drainage design, which was achieved, was to reduce both the rate and volume of runoff to this westerly wetland and to that drainage system that collects water from the neighborhood and our site. And we have no actual physical connection to the WPA system. We left it completely separate. So we didn't get into any issues in terms of the capacity of their system relative to what we were proposing to do. We know that we've reduced the peak in volume over here. I'll tell you how and why in a sec. We're also retaining the requisite water quality volume, the requisite Fairfield inland wetlands capture volume. But big picture, let me show you kind of all the things that are proposed. So the house is sited in the rear of the lot and its appurtenances around it. There's a pool, a generator and some pool equipment over here, patio in the back, a screened in porch on the right side. And then the driveway comes in from Winton Road between the two wetlands to a motor court in the front and then a garage court on the side. Additionally, we've taken all of the infrastructure and underground utilities out to Round Hill Road instead of putting them kind of normally where you would put them under the driveway. And we did that for two very specific reasons. One, to just eliminate that activity near the wetlands. So that trenching is done here and the permanent installation of, say, the sewer main is over here instead of over here. So it's kind of good for the long term in case anything happens. But also to avoid the Winton Park pipe that comes through the property right here, right? So we don't have any trenching that goes by that location either. And what you see in this black dashed line in the middle of the driveway here, we're actually replacing a section of that pipe. Their system is 80 or 90 years old. We agree with their assessment that it may be fragile. And so what we're going to do early on in construction is replace that pipe with a new structurally stable pipe before we start trafficking in and out this location. So we remove the possibility of damage to it during construction by just replacing it from the get-go. And then that way, if they ever decide to do upgrades to their pipe, they don't need to dig up our driveway to do it. So it's a win-win for both parties. How we solve for the drainage design. So firstly, we look at the source, right? We have impervious surfaces, hardscape surfaces. Well, what can we do to minimize the impact of those hardscape surfaces? And the alternative that we selected was to use a significant amount of porous and permeable surface. So this kind of light purple color is porous asphalt. So literally the rain will fall on the porous asphalt, soak through the asphalt layer, get into the crushed stone reservoir beneath it, where it will then soak into the ground. And the front drive court is going to be a permeable paver. And so that works through the joints in the edges of the paver that are filled with stone chips. Again, the rainwater hits the permeable paver court, finds the joints, goes to a crushed stone reservoir beneath it, soaks into the ground. And in addition to that, we have more conventional stormwater management in two underground infiltration systems, one under the garage court here on the left side of the plan, and one off the northeast side of the house. The crushed stone reservoir and the permeable paver drive court and the two infiltration systems overflow 0 water in the 10-year storm. So the overflows which exist here and here, and the overflow here, which will just be the trench drain at the edge of that system, will flow only in rare circumstances when everything is pretty wet anyway. But we studied every storm event from the 1-year storm event all the way up to the 100-year storm event to confirm that, in fact, we were meeting our a design goal of reducing the peak rate and peak volume of runoff to this wetland and points downstream. As of today, we received from Fairfield Engineering Department their final sign off saying they have no further comments on the plans and calculations we provided to them. And so given the conservative standards that Fairfield wetlands applications are required to meet, 10-year proposed flow has to be less than the 2-year existing flow, the 38 cubic feet of storage we need to provide for every 100 square feet of impervious coverage. I can say with confidence that there will be no adverse drainage impacts to the wetlands, adjacent or downstream properties, or the WPA drainage system. It's the end of my initial presentation. I can take some questions, or Bill.
Questions, Mr. Chairman?
Any specific questions?
This isn't really pertinent to us, but is there an easement? Like how would they access this drainage system on your property? The WPA?
Oh, yeah,
Association.
that would be an easement that they would probably.
Right, so that's right.
Yeah.
That's nothing to do with us. I was just curious to see like how that's managed.
Yeah, it's probably a complicated answer in legal documents when the association was set up.
Yeah.
You got two complicated things. You got
Yeah.
them, and then you're going across the Round Hill Road.
Well, that is an access way owned fee simple by this property owner.
Really?
Yeah, that's fee.
Oh,
So that,
that's interesting.
that is power and water and waste.
Water, wastewater, telephone, electric cable, and gas.
Well, you're saying it's not an easement.
It's
They
not, no.
actually own the land.
They have a 20-foot wide strip.
Okay.
Okay, then, okay. Very good.
That much easier.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Any other questions from the commission?
Happy to see porous. That's for sure.
This is very unique. Very unique.
What would happen if you did a 2-lot subdivision?
You know, it's funny, there was some discussion about the history of this property and whether or not it was two lots at one time. And we studied a couple alternates to that, not to do it, but just to see if it could be done. I think when you deduct the wetlands from the property area, we can't quite get there under the zoning regulations.
Okay, any, yep.
So could you show us where is the minimum zoning setback
Oh, sure.
line?
It's so this is the rear yard setback over here. It's there. Setback. Over there, and then down the front. So that's the zoning setback envelope.
And how far in is from that line is the house?
Well, the pool is right up against it, right? So we can't take this and push it back because the pool would violate the setback. And we have the pool
Okay.
equipment and the generator here too. We've literally pushed it back as far as we can.
I guess, so did you consider any alternative designs?
Well, yeah, so in our application narrative, we talked about a couple of the alternatives we considered and selected. But let me first go back and talk about the big picture of the requirement for an alternatives analysis, right? First, you need to determine that the activities proposed are likely to cause an adverse impact to a wetland or water course. And once you have that connection between activity and impact, you say, well, hey, we've got activity and impact. Is there something else we can do within our eyes or look at an alternative design? In this particular case, you have my assessment as a professional engineer. You have Mr. Kenny's assessment as a professional wetland scientist. You have the engineering sign off and peer review of my work, and you have the staff report, which all agree that there is no likely adverse impact on a wetland or water course here. So we're not legally required to look at alternatives, but we are good at what we do. And so before we even get here, we consider alternatives and we look at different designs. And I've mentioned two of them through my presentation. One is more than a third of the impervious surfaces on this application are proposed to be porous or permeable, right? That was a selection that we didn't have to make, right? We could have solved the drainage solution through more conventional means like the infiltration systems. But we picked that alternative because we felt there was less potential for impact with those porous surfaces. Similarly, we had originally drawn the plan with utility connections out to Winton Road. And, you know, through conversations with the team, we decided hey, well, maybe there's a way we can do this that would have less potential for impact. And that's when we started to utilize the access way out to Round Hill for all the infrastructure as well. So we try to stay ahead of that question when we're designing it.
I guess what I'm thinking is not that your design is bad, but you could have done it differently. You could have designed it so less of the house and is in the URA. The driveway could have gone to Round Hill and not bisected those wetland areas, and you would just gonna be almost completely out of the regulated area.
Yeah, move the house, change the driveway. So I think if you look at this lot that has 450 feet of frontage on Winton Road and 20 feet of frontage on Round Hill Road, and the property itself is in the Winton Park Association, I think it's pretty rational and reasonable and logical to have the driveway come out to Winton Road, and probably better for emergency services too, responding to that address. And as far as the house placement, again, I'm going to tie this back to although I served on a wetlands agency for 7 years in my hometown, and I understand the simple desire to say distance equals impact or distance equals lack of impact. But I think the actual analysis is how you are treating what is proposed, right? How much cut and fill are we doing? How are we treating the drainage? Like, what's the drainage impact on these wetlands? It doesn't change whether the house is 5 feet this way or 5 feet that way. The drainage impact is the same. We capture, right, before it gets released to the wetlands. And similarly, and you'll in a moment hear from Bill Kenny about the ecological assessment of the property and some of the things they're doing in terms of the landscaping and vegetation proposed. That is going to have an incremental net benefit to the ecology of the wetland, right? So, yeah, we're already in a situation where we've captured the drainage impact. We're having incremental net benefits to the functions, the wetland values, the wetlands. It doesn't matter if the house is 5 or 10 feet one way or the other.
Commissioners, any other questions?
I will say that that is my initial reaction, distance. You're right about that. I'm glad to hear someone talk about it.
Okay. And
Would you be talking at least briefly about what you're gonna do with the west wetland?
Yeah.
It's, to me, it's a lawn right now, and I see that as a big problem.
okay.
I just want to know that that's.
Yeah. So just specifically on that, the reason it is maintained is what we're calling a short meadow, and Bill can describe what that means in a minute, is because of its relationship to the drainage that goes to the Winton Park Association. So because that is part of the drainage corridor, and because that does flood from time to time, they like the ability to see what's happening there and not have kind of obstructive vegetation to that flow of water. So there's a reason it's like that.
Okay.
Thank you, Craig. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to introduce William Kenny, soil scientist, certified professional wetland scientist, and landscape architect. Bill is the principal of William Kenny Associates with offices in FairTV.
Good evening.
So we were hired to help in a number of different ways, starting in the beginning with checking where are the wetlands, what type of wetlands are here, what's their condition? And then working with the team to develop a design that we think is sensitive and sustainable with the resources that are on the property. And then on the tail end of that, that's more of a site planning comment. The things that Craig was discussing, such as house location, driveway location, things like that. And then on the back end of the design process, looking at the habitat and what we can do to help enhance that and maintain that. And like there's two major historic activities on the property that have affected the wetlands, and it's a bit of an interesting history. And so let me step back and I'll give a overview of the existing conditions and then the proposed conditions. So this site doesn't have a lot of topographic gradient. It rises and falls a little bit. It's a glacial till area, so the soils are derived from glacial till material, a very common material in the area. The wetland soils are typical, very common wetland soil in the area, Ridgeberry Leicester type soil, poorly drained under normal conditions. And what that means is you're getting saturated conditions within a foot of the surface for at least several weeks in the spring, but longer periods of time. Particularly when you have low-lying areas like this that aren't sloping. Sometimes you get sloping wetlands that are only wet in the spring. Something like this would be wet for extended periods because of its landscape position. But I'll say that with the drainage improvements that were done on this would be one of the two things I was talking about, that they've changed the hydrologic conditions substantially with the drains that were put in here. So the soils now act more similar. They're more similar to an upland soil than a wetland soil as far as the drainage conditions. There's wet, moist areas out here, but with the pipes coming through and the surface drains, it's made the soils drier, but they still meet the legal definition of a wetland. And they still provide some wetland functions. The primary function at this location in this neighborhood is the flood storage, the storage of surface waters during larger storm events. The other interesting, I think, historic fact is how when that improvements were made and this lot, unlike the neighboring lots, weren't developed for homes, it sort of was left to do what it was going to do. And based on the time of when all that disturbance occurred, and not a lot of attention paid to it, there was quite a bit of invasive vegetation that took over this property over the years. And then with the previous owner, Jay Fain, who worked on this for 10 to 20 years, he's done a really amazing job with getting the invasive vegetation under control and getting this healthy meadow habitat here, which is not very common in town, particularly in a neighborhood like this. So that's been a very interesting occurrence to something that was sort of let go and the invasives came in and it's been recovered. So it's doing quite well. The current owners were well aware of that, the applicant, when they bought the property, and they really embraced that. And they've been wonderful to work with and excited about maintaining this meadow habitat. And we are characterizing it with two types of meadow, a short meadow and a taller meadow. The taller meadow is in this slightly raised area on the east of the property, the northeastern portion. And then the shorter meadow is down here where this is the portion of the property where a significant amount of flood storage occurs when there's larger storm events. The water comes down and comes into here. There's a pipe that picks up a lot of water here that comes and discharges, but then, that pipe comes all the way through and then it conveys water down through this way. But this wetland picks up a lot of surface water from the road itself and from the properties directly across the street. So a neighbor submitted a photo showing some water ponding in here, and this is the area. That photo does not show ponding where the house is proposed or where the driveway is proposed. So we're calling this short meadow or eco lawn, and what I mean by that is you have some lawn areas that people are a chem lawn where they're putting down herbicides and pesticides on a regular basis, and they just want their Kentucky bluegrass. And that's not the case here. The case is to have species that are adapted to dry, that are very tolerant of dry conditions, that are tolerant to pests. And the idea is just to maintain this through mowing and not be applying pesticides and fertilizers, and keeping it a natural vegetated meadow, but just happens to be mown more frequently for the functional purpose of that with the flood control, the importance of flood control in that area, and that this area you've been there recently, this is more of a traditional meadow where this will be mown, or it is currently mown twice a year, and the intention is to continue to mow that. And with our drawing, this is the drawing we put together. I should have said that from the beginning, but we do have a second sheet where we lay out what the maintenance would be involved with this. And after the implementation of this, if you were to approve this, that we do have monitoring proposed for 3 years and reporting to the town. And the idea is to continue what the past landowner did. And that is to strategically control invasives that come in. They're very much under control, but you'll never stop controlling invasives. So there's some multiflora rose that's been here, and that can be pulled out. And whenever there's a bare spot, go in and plant some native plants to replace it, and just maintain it in such a way, in that way. And so we've explained that in the notes. It's on the record then with that. And there's the house site is in an area that's lightly wooded right now, lawn with more of a park-like setting with trees and lawn. And these meadow areas are more open, fewer trees scattered throughout, but there's a nice mix of mostly native trees, cedars, black walnut, big nut hickory, tulip, some oaks and red maples. There are some black locusts on the property that are not necessarily native to this area, but they are native to the eastern US there. So, and then if we look at the proposed improvements, we look at this, there's nothing proposed in the wetlands themselves. These are dry areas, dry wetlands. And so then we started to look at the proposed improvements. How could they impact the wetlands? And you've seen this before, that once you step away from the wetland, the primary way of potentially impacting it is stormwater pollution, water pollution. So Craig Flaherty and Redness and Mead has done an excellent job of incorporating the porous pavement and then other infiltration systems. So they're collecting the water. These areas, this particular area of the drive is really a low use area, I would, compared to, like, if on a regular basis, the homeowner, if they're parking in the back here, which is farther away. This surface here, you typically expect that that's getting used on a less frequent basis. So I think that's good that the more intense use is in the back, further removed. And then, but nonetheless, the water from that surface is being collected and infiltrated in this area. Water from the roof is being infiltrated here. Because of your requirements for the 10-2, that puts a tremendous amount of your, close to 95% probably of your rainwater every year back into the ground to help recharge groundwater, help clean and recharge. So you're not having surface water discharge into these wetlands that it's running through the soil and being filtered through the soil before it reaches any wetland or stream area, which is a great thing. So with all of that being said, with these stormwater management for the improvements after they're completed, and then when you combine the soil and erosion sediment control measures that are proposed during construction, and I can just speak briefly about that. The development footprint itself is relatively small. It's not a steeply sloping site, so your potential for soil erosion is much less than it would be on a steeply sloping site. And because it's all concentrated primarily in this one area, and this is just a very linear feature. I like the idea that the utilities are coming out here. The work needed to put in this is relatively minimal, the driveway in this area. So the potential for soil erosion and sediment control soil erosion and sedimentation impacts is very minimal. The standard soil erosion and sediment controls with the site monitoring that you require with all your approvals. With that and the stormwater management that would come after the project. It's my professional opinion that this can be done in a way that will not adversely affect the wetlands on site. And then you add to that the management of this. This accounts for about 65% of the property, all the meadow areas that are proposed. And then you have other native plants that'll be in this area as well, but you're already up to 65% with really for the most part, a native vegetated community on the property. And they're just in this area, 12 trees and 53 shrubs, 131 rooted perennials here, and then seeding with meadow vegetation in the rest of the area. So please answer any questions.
Thank you. Yeah. No, there are proposed boulders or the demarcation features. Can you just point those out?
Yes. So what we have focused on the tall meadow for that purpose. So we have the boulders that come around here along the driveway. We didn't propose them because we're just going to parallel the driveway, basically mow a strip.
Yeah.
And then have them come around here. So we're defining this edge here. And then there's just these paths, basically paths that are proposed here.
Yeah, okay.
And then Bill, the area on that, this direction, that's gonna be the mowed meadow.
Right, so every couple of weeks,
So everything that's that
Twice a month?
shade of green,
twice a month here.
that shade of green is the mowed meadow everywhere.
Yes. This is every couple of weeks. In the summer, it might be once a month. And then this is twice a year.
There could be clover.
Clover, yep.
Any
Yes.
sedge?
There'll be, yeah, there will be, yes.
There'll be what?
Sedge.
Some sedge, some native grasses.
Actually, to be honest with you, it looks like a lawn to me right now.
Yes.
So when you say, you keep using the word low meadow, I mean, I'm here like, what's the
Yeah.
definition of a low meadow?
That,
For the record, I'm frustrated. To me, it looks like a yard.
yes.
A lawn.
Yes, so there
I mean,
won't
that's
be
gonna
the
change.
use of, it won't be fertilized. There won't be a broadleaf weed control. They're not gonna apply herbicides for weed control, and you want it to fill up with clover and nitrogen fixation that comes with that. And it's gonna be controlled through mowing. If you started to get mugwort coming in, but the mowing will help keep that out, then you might do some spot treatment, but you're not gonna do broad weed control. They're not doing any of that through.
This homeowner.
Well, yes. I mean, with every project you have, yeah.
Right, I'm just saying, this,
Yes.
right,
You will accept it as a condition of approval.
that's what I'm just
On the
checking.
land records, runs with the land. It'll affect, it's applicable to future homeowners as well.
Sure.
Any other questions from any other commissioners?
No.
No.
Mr. Chairman, I'd prefer to let the public speak and then conclude if that
Sure.
works for you.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Great, thank you.
All right. So is there anybody online?
So,
Uh-oh.
there's somebody online who's raised their hand. I asked them if they're in opposition or support, and they haven't responded, so I don't know.
Uh, Okay, so Mr. Boland, it looks like. Eric Boland, your hand is raised.
Yes, can you hear me okay now?
Yes.
Okay, yes. I'm Steve and Lindsay's future neighbor to the south at 440 Barlow Road.
Okay,
So I wish them all the best.
can I ask you a quick question, please?
Yes.
Before you say anything else, are you speaking in support or in opposition to this application?
Oh, in support. Yeah, and I'm in support of a nice, nicely constituted private residence in the neighborhood. But I did have one question about is this intended to be a primary residence?
It really doesn't matter for us. You talk if you're,
I'm happy to share, yes.
okay, yes?
Because I
Okay.
heard you say it was a forever residence.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Yes, so the applicant is here. He's stated yes, but it's not part of what we don't really, we don't control there. Yes.
Can I have Mr. Buller?
Mr. Boland, can you give me your address, please?
Yeah, 440 Barlow, Barlow Road. And we're also in the process of completing a pool and patio restoration. So we're also implementing a storm infiltration system. So I think the drainage properties from a Winton Park Association consideration are being improved. So I think I would just like to reinforce that whatever the Johnsons are doing with their property, I think we're also complementing that. So I think drainage character considerations shouldn't be too dramatic here.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Boland. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, is there anyone else online that'd like to speak in support of this application?
Put his
Okay.
hand down.
Okay. Nobody else online who would like to speak in support of this application? Anybody here that would like to speak in support of this application? If you wouldn't mind, ma'am, you could please come up, give us your name and address, and then let us know your thoughts. Thank you.
My name is,
Sit if you're more comfortable. Yeah.
my name is Aliona Nicholson, and I'm the neighbor to the west. Am I to the west? Yes.
If you wouldn't mind giving us your property.
181 Winton Road.
181 in Winton. Thank you.
And I'm very happy that we such a responsible owner who I'm sure will maintain well the wetland in the area and the drainage system that Winton Park has through their most of the property. I had a quick question for the engineer.
Well, why don't you just ask us what you think and I'll.
I think that, the driveway, I spoke with Sarah Neefsey today, the driveway, and I don't know if this was presented today. The construction that was worrying a little bit for me, like the old heavy machinery, and not only for me, for other WPA residents will, go to, from Winton Road to the house to the area of construction. And that may obviously affect the drainage system, which is an old and fragile system, but it's in a very good condition at the moment, working condition. So Sarah explained to me that to the right and to the left of the driveway, there will be area and the border to this, it will be fenced and all the traffic will be within this corridor. I just wanted to confirm that this is the case. And
I'll answer at the end.
Yeah.
yeah, and
Okay.
I very much appreciate it. It's like, it's very careful approach.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So their experts took down that information. They'll answer at the end. Okay. So is there anything else you'd like to add?
I also very much appreciate that the meadows will be kept. Maybe we all should pay more attention to keeping
Sure.
the native vegetation and
Really would
preventing
like
it
that.
and promoting it in our yards, and that looks beautiful, and I'm sure it will be it will look even more beautiful when the new neighbors after it.
Great. Thank you, man. Thank you. Is there anyone else here that would like to come and speak in support of this application?
Yes.
Oh, please, coming up and give your name and address, please.
Wes Harnett, 280 Winton Road, so just a little bit further down the street. So, speaking in support, very appreciative of one, the thoughtfulness they put into this. I think it'll be a significant enhancement, not only to the property, but to the community. And then also is really good to hear how they're considering all the drainage in being on the board of Winton Park Association, helping to alleviate the drainage issues was actually near and dear to all of our hearts. So.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. Thank you. But you're speaking for yourself.
I'm speaking for myself.
As a member of the board, okay.
Yes.
Not as a representative of the board, you are a member. Okay.
Correct. I'm not representing the Winton Park Association.
Great, gotcha. Thank you very much. Okay. Is there anyone else here that would like to speak in
Hi.
support?
Well, I'm not 100% in support. I
Well-
more have questions.
You have questions? Okay, then give me a minute then.
Okay.
You'll be next. Is there anyone else here that would like to speak in support of this application? Nope, okay. Anybody online that would like to speak in opposition to this application? There you go, the hand's up. Yes, sir, give us your name and address, please, Mr. Joseph Walewski?
Yes, yeah, Joseph Walewski. My family resides at 71 Elm Street, so still within a half mile of the proposed area. Yeah, I just wanted some clarification. I just wanted to say I agree with Commissioner Hood that I was just a little confused about the term like low meadow or eco lawn, in the sense that, you know, if you're just saying that the area is not having any fertilizer used and mowed, many lawns in Fairfield would fit that definition. So I would agree that that's probably not adequate for protecting a wetland. And I will even say, you know, that as well, there, even from a relatively developed part of town, like the southern part of the university area, there are still nights on occasion when I can hear, for example, green tree frogs or gray tree frogs, and I have recordings of them verified on iNaturalist. I presume that they are using some of the available wetlands, such as these areas. So I would speak in pretty much support of their preservation and protection to any degree. I was going to put as well that if you're saying that it will effectively look like a normal non-fertilized lawn, and that there's still a considered commitment by the landowner to not use any fertilizer, any pesticide against broadleafed plants in that area, how would you know if it's always going to be some low set maintained grass? I would hope that there'd be a stronger mechanism for enforcement against the use of pesticides and fertilizers within that wetland. And also, I would say as well that I would really hope that, because it is a wetland, and I do know again that there are potential for amphibians to be in the area, there are again at least nearby some gray tree frogs, and given that there is substantial pooling at various times of year, which I as a neighbor in the area have observed on runs as well, that, you know, there could be potential for all sorts of wildlife movement between the two areas of wetland. And with the driveway crossing between them, it is certainly possible for there to be vehicle-animal collisions. And therefore, I do think it is true that if you were to put the driveway through that strip on Round Hill Road, that it would result in fewer, you know, impacts to the wetland.
Mr. Walewski, do you have any, is this information you got from an expert? Is there somebody that's providing you this information, or is this just your opinion as a member of the public that lives half a mile away?
So to clarify, which information are you exactly saying?
Well, you're making statements about wetland functions and how they're going to be dealt with, and the applicant has experts here that have made statements to us. So what is it that you can provide that would be something that we can use? Because we need to take information from everybody, but it's got to be at least functional information that we can use in opposition.
Okay. Well, first, I would say, I think as Commissioner Hood said, what is the term eco lawn, essentially. That could be defined.
Okay,
Second, then, if there could, for an actual actionable item, defining detection and enforcement of use of fertilizers and or pesticide within the area. And then third, again, a consideration for moving the driveway, because I think it has been documented by many wetland scientists, ecologists, etc., that habitat fragmentation caused by development can adversely impact habitats in general, wetlands even more so. And then there are iNaturalist research grade observations of recordings of gray tree frogs in this part of Fairfield. I'm happy to provide the links if you are concerned.
okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Yeah, but otherwise, the house itself, I have no concerns about.
Thank you very much. All right, so then, anybody here that would like to speak in opposition or have questions? So we'll start with you, ma'am.
Okay.
What's your name and your address?
Hi, I'm Kathy O'Brien. I'm part of the Winton Park Association. I live at 155 Brook Bend Road. So I just found out about this today, so unfortunately I didn't really have time to prepare, but so as a courtesy, it would have been nice to have known. I realize that you apparently sent something to the board president, but it wasn't shared with the members. One unique feature about the Winton Park Association, I don't know if you're aware, but the association is responsible for the maintenance of those drains that run throughout the properties within Winton Park, the drain that is on their property. So my biggest question and concern is if you're digging a foundation and a pool and creating this, beautiful home on this property, what is the impact to those drains that are there? And I just want to make sure that it's your responsibility to fix and maintain whatever you dig up and not that of the Winton Park Association. I just want to make sure we're not on the hook to pay for and correct a major infrastructure project.
I'm not sure if that deals with inland wetlands, so.
Well, if the drains aren't maintained properly, the impact.
Yeah, that would be an event that would.
And I just want that on the record.
Sure. So that's their, and that'll be up to their applicant, the experts if they want to talk about that. But they did mention at one point during the
Right.
presentation that a portion of that will be dug up and put in with a new pipe, I guess, underneath the driveway. So that minimizes some aspect of possible breaks, I guess, from the traffic going over the driveway is my indication. But that was the indication that was provided. But for the record, yeah, I'm glad you said it, but I don't know if it's really, is something that is as a function of the wetlands or. Yeah.
Kevin O'Brien, husband, Tom. Yeah, so basically, sewer, when you mentioned all the electrical, water is all gonna go to Round Hill. You didn't mention anything about the sewer hookup. Is that why you're replacing the pipe? Because the sewer is gonna be coming onto Winton Road?
It was, we heard that everything's going to.
I didn't hear sewer at all.
We'll let them address it.
Well, then the applicant's representatives can answer that question when.
That was my question. And again, basically, they're gonna replace and correct one of the pipes or whatever, but some of those functioning pipes, is it going to just block? Like, again, it's almost like if you're gonna fix that one section, then fix it all.
Why? It's not their responsibility.
Well, right, it's their property now, the building on it, which was never built in the history of the whole.
Are there easements involved with this property for these pipes to be going through their property? Council, can you ask,
I can't answer that question. I can only assume so, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, there should be some legal document somewhere that answers that question, but it doesn't affect the inland wetlands, and our jurisdiction is really and it wasn't even about the frogs. It's about the functions of the wetlands.
But
Will
isn't
they
it?
do something that'll affect that?
But if the pipes aren't functioning, does that make even more wetlands, more exacerbate the issue that there's standing water already at certain times of the year?
There's standing water already, but they've provided information that says that we have certain formulas that they have to meet. If they've met those formulas with their experts, then you would have to provide us an
I'm just
expert.
saying, if it's already there, building a house and building a driveway they're capturing, I expect, what is being built. So,
From what they've provided, they're
That's
doing
gonna-
what the law allows them to do.
okay.
So they don't have to fix a problem that's not their problem to fix.
But what if the problem becomes our problem when they get water in their basement, basically?
If they get water in their basement, that's their problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yes. That's,
Yeah. Anybody else here in person that would like to speak in opposition to this application?
There's somebody online again. Marianne
Oh,
Rashido.
okay, sure, sorry, didn't see that. Sure, we'll go to Marianne. Marianne, are you there? Oh, can you?
She's muted.
There she is.
Okay, hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, now we can. Can you please give us your name and address and tell us if you're in support or in opposition?
My name is Mary Ann Rosito. I live on 700 Umpqua Road. My property is also bounding on Winton Road. I'm in Winton Park. I'm also a board member of the Winton Park Association. Now, I'm not going to say whether I'm in opposition or I'm in favor, and if that means I can't speak, that's fine.
Well, then what do you have to add that would affect?
All right,
the
well,
wetland
number
function?
one, there's been a lot of text messages between board members who were not aware of this. We had hoped and had asked the property owners to show us some of the plans prior, and I guess most people just didn't know about it. But the Winton Park Association does have standing and authority by the charter, which was done in 1936, to maintain the drains. But you're not interested in that. But I will say that there's been a lot of flooding in the lower part of Winton Park, and there's a lot of wetlands there. My property has those wetlands. My house was built prior to the Conservation Commission and all of that, but it was not built in the wetlands because it didn't make sense. But at any rate, before I did a renovation, I had to have the whole, I had to have the wetlands flagged. And I will say this, that I know about wetlands. Wetlands are supposed to be the actual soil that's there, not whether someone drained it or took off some, invasive properties or whatever they claim they did. They are wetlands because of the soil. And most of the GIS mapping that has been done for years and years and years, and is in I don't know if you looked at the mapping, any of you who are,
We have.
I don't know, but let me just continue. Don't shut me down. The mapping always stays just about the same. And if you were to look at the GIS mapping, you would see that most of that property is wetlands. Now, it's a miracle that just all of a sudden there was enough dry wetland property that they could build a driveway.
Do you have your own expert that you can to present information?
Yes, well, I do. I look at the regulations. I know the laws. I know the state laws. Now, all I'm asking is this. there is a 100-foot setback, but you've decided since all the drainage is fine, that there's no ponding will be done, nothing. But will that further dry out the wetlands? Because we need the wetlands to absorb some of the water that runs off the hill on the other side. And we need them just because ecologically they're what we need in our lives.
Okay.
Now,
How does this affect the wetlands here on this property? What is the issue with the wetlands here? They've had their experts present to us the information.
well, from what I knew and what the prior board and some of the Tom Stanky and Annette and people, they were saying that you have to observe the 100-foot setback, maybe not completely the uplands, but certainly when you're right in the wetlands, yes. You
Thank
have
you,
to
ma'am.
observe.
Thank you. We will take your information.
So one more thing, I've lived in this
Okay.
park since 1960.
Well, one thing that we would just say that it's not a setback. It's
Yeah. It's an upland review
So,
area.
I mean,
Yeah.
that
So
it is worth.
there's a difference between a zoning setback and an upland review area. Just so to be clear about that. Okay, so is there anybody else here that would like to speak in support of this application? Nope. Back to the applicant and their representatives, and you have a couple of comments, a couple of issues that you might want to.
Mr. Flaherty.
Sure. All right, so, get the right plan here. A part of the set that we submitted for the record was the sediment erosion control plan. And the sediment erosion control plan will help us answer a couple of these questions, because on that plan, we have a limit of disturbance indicated, which would be the extent of any potential construction activity or ground disturbance. And that limit of disturbance is flanked by silt fence on both sides. So that silt fence goes in, as you know, as soon as before construction starts. We literally can't start construction until the silt fence is installed and inspected. So that means that this is where any activity will occur. That's where we're placing the pipe. So anything, any of those pipes that are to the west, to the right, or to the east and to the left, we won't be trafficking over. And the one pipe that we will traffic over, we're going to replace with a brand new pipe. So that's how we know that we're not going to hurt the existing pipes. And we're going to leave what we potentially have the opportunity to drive over brand new. And there are separate storm and sanitary sewers in the town of Fairfield. So when we use the term sewer, sometimes it could mean both, but this is a storm drain, storm sewer. This is just for rainwater. And the sanitary sewer is going to be pumped out to Round Hill Road. So that has to do with that one. That has to do with the impacted drainage. Oh, and then Mr. Bishop, I think, headed this one off in the past. One of the special conditions of approval presented in his staff report is condition number 4, which states any damage to the existing drainage infrastructure shall be repaired immediately, and additional modifications to existing drainage systems shall require Conservation Department approval. So, yeah, if we break something, we've got to fix it.
Okay. And
Mr. Kenny.
I just would like to, I've discussed it already, that these wetlands are drained and they don't sustain regular ponding on the surface. They have, during a storm, you'll get ponding, but like a forested swamp or a vernal pool, you don't have water sitting on the surface for weeks at a time. And with regard to the gray tree frog, its habitat is more of those wooded swamps where they'll use vernal pools. It's not a vernal pool obligate species, but they'll use ponds and other standing water for breeding. There isn't any of that habitat on this property. First of all, it's not a wooded you have the upland wooded area and they could use that if they had the wooded wetland with the standing water. So we did not see any on the property and I don't expect there would be any based on the type of wetland. The fact that this is a meadow wetland that is drained and you don't have long-standing water pooling on the surface. And with regard to the eco one, I actually have been thinking about this for decades. Because when I was in grad school, I was part of writing of a book in a seminar called Redesigning the American Lawn. And I just looked up some key points from that and it fits right in with this. And we called it the Freedom Lawn when I wrote that book. It was at the Yale School of Forestry. And it says, so anything that is green and can tolerate periodic mowing is welcome as long as it doesn't become take over the area as an invasive. And you want to avoid a monoculture of strict turf grass. And it naturally incorporates weeds like dandelions, clover, violets, strawberries. And the maintenance is no synthetic fertilizers, pesticides, or irrigation, except to control that invasive that might take over the entire place. And then so the benefits drastically reduces your yard work, eliminates toxic chemical runoff, and provides a much needed habitat for pollinators and beneficial insects. So
Would the applicant agree to some sort of condition, if you will, or restriction that if it were to become a monoculture, like a rye turf grass, and it's visible by our staff, that could possibly be some sort of violation or something along those lines? I don't know.
Is it the proposed native ground covers? That's the low meadow?
yes,
So you're looking at blue star, Appalachian sedge, marginal wood fern, purple coneflower, snow candle, speedwell, wood blue aster. That's not turf grass. Those are native plants that are low growing.
and the meadow is there today. This condition is there today, so you can go out and actually see it. And it is to continue to manage it. And if we need to infill, we infill with plants like that. Sure.
I think that's my frustration. I have seen it, and I did a sidewalk, and it's a lawn. That's what I see when I'm there, and so I understand clover creeping in and some dandelions and no fertilizer. I don't really care. Maybe part of it for me is a meadow isn't cut 2 inches like a lawn. If I had some sort of reassurance that if the low meadow was going to be 8 inches or something, then I would be more reassured. My trouble now is it's a lawn, and that's what it looks like from the street. And I'm having trouble getting past that. I would like to see the low meadow. The other side, the west, if it was just some height, it could still be low, but I don't understand why it has to be mowed down like grass.
So we certainly could put a limit
I'm not
on.
making a prejudgment. I'm not telling you that I'm rejecting this. It's just that I'm really frustrated by that.
Sure. And it might have been that it was just mowed the day or.
Yeah, could be.
Clarify this, and I think it would be good if the members of the WPA, sorry,
Right now, let your counsel.
sorry, I apologize, yeah.
It's okay.
Table that, but there is an answer to your question. Sorry, did I say the wrong thing?
Tell Bill Kenny what it is, will you please, while I talk, and then let Bill answer it.
Yeah, my apologies. Right, following protocol.
That's okay.
You just let Bill know what you think is appropriate. Let me do my conclusion, then we'll finish with this, Mr. Chairman. Legally, the ultimate question for the commission, as you know, is to decide whether the proposed activity will cause an adverse impact to a wetland or water course. That's the Riverbend case, 2004. The court further specified that the impact is not a general one, but specific to the wetlands or water courses on site. In determining adverse impact, the courts have held that issue is a matter of expert opinion. In this matter, the testimony of William Kenny, an acknowledged expert, is that the proposed project will not result in adverse impacts to inland wetlands and water courses or their ability to perform typical wetland functions. The proposed plan incorporates many environmentally positive features, including porous pavement, permeable pavers, and a comprehensive wetland and buffer management plan. Conservation staff prepared a staff recommendation for approval with conditions. My clients agree with both the recommendation for approval and have no objection to the conditions. We'd be pleased to accept as conditions the maintenance items set forth on Mr. Kenny management plan. Also, it's important to note the town engineering department has reviewed and approved the plans. My clients, the Johnstons, are the parties who are most concerned with making sure the drainage system on their property is properly designed and functional. The stormwater system here, again, reviewed and approved by the town, accomplishes that end. Basically, for the reasons we've outlined, I'd request this application be approved. Well, Mr. Kenny, do you have an issue? One thing to add before we close?
Just, they're pleased to incorporate, mowing height. So if you mow it, don't mow it to an inch, mow it to 4 to 6 inches. So right after it's mowed, that's the shortest it is gonna be. And then it'll grow up to 8 inches and you mow it back to 4 type of thing. So you keep it within a range. We could agree to a range, like a 4 to 8 inch range.
Great, so we can add that condition, keep it within a 4 and 6 inch range. That fair? Is that what you said?
I have nothing further, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much for your time and attention.
Okay. Anything further from the commission? Nope.
Make sure all the lights are shielded. No spotlights shining on.
All right. We're done, so we're gonna close that public hearing.
Thank you.
Okay.
No, not.
Yeah. Applications waiting, public hearing. Number 1, WC 26 30 Gibbons, 154 John Street, 241 Parker, 49, 70-foot by 78-foot commercial garage in a regulated area. Public hearing continued August 5th, 2026, pending third party review, submission of additional information. Is there anything new on that, Tim?
Yes, I've been in correspondence with 2 consultants. One is here tonight, Flaherty from Redness with an I and Mead. And Biohabitats, I expect to have both of those cost estimates for our third party review.
Okay.
And we'll circulate those to the
P-26 0053 Holmster Industries, 34 Reading Road, map 167, parcel 16. Demolition of the existing dwelling, barn and shed, and construction of a new single-family residence with patio, driveway, and stormwater management system within a regulated area. The public hearing continued to August 5th, 2026, per property owner's request. Nothing much there, right? Right. Number 3, WP-26-0056. Benz and Associates, 41 Cherry, map 171, parcel 35. Construction of a 2.5-story, single-family residence with attached garage, driveway, associated hardscape patios, on-site septic system and stormwater management system, and associated site work in the regulated area. Public hearing is scheduled for August 5th, 2026. And number 4, WP-26-0064, Kaminsky, 90 Long Meadow Road, map 165, parcel 24. The construction of additions and a patio to the existing main dwelling, reconstruction of the existing barn, driveway modifications, installation of new septic system and stormwater management system and associated site work within a regulated area. Public hearing scheduled for August 5th, 2026. All right, nothing there, Tim, right? Right, okay. From numeral 7, applications for C. Number 1 is WP-26-0071, Troutscapes River Restoration LLC and Nutmeg Capture Trout Unlimited. Mill River, multiple addresses include 80 Congress Street and within the Connecticut DOT right of way along Congress Street. That's map 22, parcel 93. restoration of a section of the Mill River. The last date for public hearing or decision is August 21st, 2026. Last regular meeting prior to August 5th, 2026. Staff recommends scheduling a site walk and a public hearing for August 5th, 2026. Okay, geez, let's, okay. So we'll put it down for the August 5th, 2026 meeting.
Yes, if you could just make a motion, get a motion to receive.
Oh, that's right, we have to receive it first. Any, yeah, can we motion to receive that, to what?
Receive it.
Receive the application.
Oh, okay, sure.
Rick,
Yeah, I'll
you're-
make a motion to
okay.
receive that.
Any second that motion? Kate seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we'll put it down for the August 5th, 2026, for public hearing there. And, I was just looking at on the same special meeting agenda, the other SATWalk schedule. It says August 29th, 2026. That can't be right. Are we talking about the same one we're talking about July 29th?
Yeah,
Sorry, that's Sherry, July 29th.
July 29th.
Right. And so is 290 Long Meadow Road should be July 29th, right?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know why I got messed up.
So so this particular special meeting agenda, to say that. And then we can just add. We can add this, I guess, to that. To do a sidewalk. For July 29th. That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Now moving on, from the lake fee waiver request that's associated with the prior, so number one. WP 26-0071 Trout Escapes River Restoration LLC and Nutmeg Chapter Limited Mill River, multiple addresses include 80 Congress Street and within Connecticut DOT right of way along Congress Street. Applicant requests fee waiver of $9,500 application fee. Staff recommends discussion and considering of waiving the $9,500 fee. Okay, yes.
I see no reason to waiver the fee. The project is a positive environmental project. I understand that. Trout Unlimited is a multi-million-dollar 501c3. I see no reason to do that.
Okay,
That's not correct.
Sorry,
We're a local chapter.
Trout Unlimited.
This is a local.
You have the opportunity to speak. So I see no reason to do that. Homeowners in Fairfield and small businesses have to pay the fee, so I'm in favor of not allowing that off.
Okay. Any other commissioners have any comments or?
I agree generally with a fee is a fee,
Yeah.
but that's just me all the time. I'm like a broken record.
Okay.
So that's nothing new.
I do think that this is an improvement to the Mill River, like there's no homeowner benefiting, like we're all gonna benefit from this project. So I do think in these kind of cases, whether it's the Audubon or something like this, where it's not, we're not doing something so that the homeowner is doing something, it's something that the community is gonna benefit from. I do think that I am in support of the fee waiver.
Yes, Tim.
If I could also add, just so the agency's aware, this project was presented to the agency in concept a year or two ago. Since then, the chapter that I'm aware of, that Mr. Rosen represents, has been fundraising to fund this. I walked the river with this consultant and to you 2 years ago. It is adjacent to our open space and adjacent to hopefully our new open space at 80 Congress. Critical cold water head of the Mill River. I don't have a say here, obviously. But I have been working with this applicant to get this to this point thus far. So I just wanted to point out the location and the fact that I would agree with Commissioner O'Mahony that this is an improvement And during the initial commitment, on behalf of the department, I did agree to provide the applicant, if it was approved with large boulders that we already have, to put into the water to increase and enhance trout habitat. So if it is approved, the department's vested. Well,
Oh, I think there's significant ecosystem service benefit to this project. There's no question about that. And I've never been able to get any money out of a trout. So I would consider maybe a modification of the fee.
Okay.
Not completely waiving it, but maybe providing a 50% discount to it.
That too.
Okay.
Why would you not completely waive it then? Just so I understand what is your reasoning that you would want to maybe hold back half?
Well, because if
I'm
we're
not
gonna be
challenging you, I just
supporting-
want to
if
understand.
We're gonna be supporting the project with staff and our time, there should be some compensation back to the staff for that purpose.
I just would like to say, I mean, that in the case like this, I do feel like the staff is supporting it because what they went and out and fundraised to something to support our community. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, so I hear what you're saying, Ted, but I do think in this case, like, yes, like they'll have better fishing in the trout, but I mean, this is a win for the Mill River. This is a
Yeah.
win for,
I agree with that, Kate. My opening statement was.
no, I know.
It was a
Good.
positive environmental
Yes.
thing.
Right.
But even a homeowner does some things that are positive for the environment. And our staff is going to be involved in it. Everybody is requested to make a payment to it. I would agree, Ted, with the reduction of it, but I can't see scot-free. I really can't.
So,
On anybody, as Commissioner Hood says. I agree.
okay, and you know where I usually come down. So do we discourage public participation by rejecting a fee waiver request to this? I'm just trying to see this
Both sides.
step back because as you know,
We have these discussions.
I'm very hostile to fee waivers.
Can I ask
across-
something of the applicant?
But
Absolutely. If somebody's here.
Yep.
Yeah, please come on up, give us your name and,
You got us talking.
yeah, so whatever you,
I've been working on this thing for a long time,
Um,
since before COVID. So
give us your name.
my name is Rich Rosen, and I'm the president of the local chapter of Trout Unlimited.
Okay.
And
Sorry, what is it? I'm sorry, the charity?
Trout Unlimited. So with the NMIC chapter, we serve Westport to Shelton and Fairfield and Trumbull and such.
Okay, some of the commissioners might ask you questions.
So what is the total, like, how much money have you raised for this project?
The cost, so the
What's
project.
the cost gonna, yeah,
The project is, we're divided into two phases, partly because we don't have all the homeowners agreeing. The phase we're gonna do is $55,000.
and how much of that did you raise? Like, I mean, like you rate, but I mean, you without raising money,
We have enough money to do it, but the chapter will be broke, basically. So we have to raise a little more so we don't have, so we can keep functioning. The total project starts at the Covenant Church, which you guys talked about before, and it goes down through the state land and up to where the homeowners are. And hopefully when the homeowners see how nice it is and it improves the environment and the habitat for the fish, the other owners that are not. So there's two owners of the 7 that are not in favor. We could do the other end by Congress Street, where it goes under the river. The river goes under the street. If we had more money.
you're not being funded by Trout Unlimited.
No, all the chapters do their own thing.
Thank you.
so how do you, I mean, what's the benefit to you? You're Trout Unlimited, you don't share funds in any way, they don't support you financially?
Well, we got a little bit of money, like $1,500 to do the survey, to do the plan, things like that, but we haven't contributed to the big project.
And what is this? Is it? Why did you want to do this? What prompted you to do this?
Well, originally, going way back, the previous conservation director wanted us to work on the area down by the bridge where it cuts under the Mohegan. And so we did a lot of work with knotweed removal, which didn't work. We did some Christmas tree plantings where you try to build up the bank. We planted trees. So we've been working in that area. And then we morphed into working on it, doing a study. So we spent about $15,000 on a study plan, which you guys should have. I can show you on the screen. And so we're here now. We wanted to do all 17 sites. We're only doing 8 of the sites. So that's the plan. Basically, we're going to be adding rocks. We're going to be deepening the water so that the fish have habitat in the summer to live, so they can spawn. There are wild trout in the river. I was telling Kate that if you look by the wooden bridge by Congress Street, if you look upstream, even in the summer, you can see the trout rising. So we know there are wild trout in there. We want to make it better. The church has been very supportive. There's going to be a path to get from the parking lot to the river. That'll be not handicap ADA, but it'll be accessible. Right now, you can't get to it because of the knotweed.
And you raised that $15,000, even the $15,000 was out of your own pocket for the study.
We
The
had some,
town didn't pay for you to do the study.
not at all. I mean, both the towns of Fairfield and Easton have been very supportive of the project since the beginning.
Right.
So that's been great. And and they've helped us out when we do cleanups and the tree revetment where we planted the recycled Christmas trees. They would help out and provide some help.
So you won't have to make an appeal to raise another $9,500? Is that what you're saying?
We have to raise a little more money so we have money to keep functioning. But if we have to raise $9,000, I don't know. I'm not sure we'll do it.
Do you have money raised for the project?
Yes. So we got $20,000 from Bass Pro. We've got some money from some donors, and we did a crowdfunding program. So the cost would be about 55. We got about 57,000. Our ongoing expenses are 2,000 to 3,000 a year. So I don't want to leave us destitute. So we're going to raise a little bit more money. So we have.
You know, my point is that everyone is asked to contribute this, whether it's charter limited, DU, or a homeowner. I agree with Ted, perhaps a reduction in it, but I just think it's part of the program. I really do.
Well, somebody.
We're not doing this for ourselves. We're doing this for the.
Same with many other projects that we look at. Many other projects we look at.
But I think we have been very generous in like with the Audubon and things like that. So I think there is precedent, right, of us, of.
I don't think so, but I was the director at the.
Well, in the case of Audubon.
When they did their last project.
Well, I asked a lot of questions and I said, how do you make your money? And can I come on the property and walk if I'm not a member? And can I things like that? And from what you're saying is I was trying to say, is there a public benefit? Because to me, we had other applications and just being a nonprofit does not entitle someone to a fee waiver.
And we have had nonprofits where we
So
have
the
felt
connection for me is the public benefit.
is the public benefit. That I agree. And I think that when you look at, especially at the Mill River, which is near and dear to my heart, I think to the town, is that it is a river that is in trouble. And that anything that we can do now.
Well, trout are in trouble.
Trout are in trouble, Mill River is in trouble. I mean, the diversion.
Rising
permit,
water temperature.
temperature rise, extended drought, it's.
I mean, this is right behind the Merritt Parkway, and the Merritt drains into this section of the river. So it's not a great spot, and it was straightened, when they built the Merritt. So we hope that you can.
Change this flow.
So somebody needs to make a motion.
Yep.
Who wants to get in there first? I have
Well-
there's three different.
All right, I'll make a motion to,
POVs here.
that I make a motion to, in this case, waive the $9,500 application fee.
Okay, that's the motion that is on the floor. Does any commissioner want to second that motion?
I'll second.
Commissioner Hood seconds that motion. Any further discussion of the motion?
I'm coming down on that side.
I think there's plenty of reasons to be unhappy, you know, but I think we need to take a step back.
I think, I think there's a lot more than $9,500 worth of benefit associated with this project.
Well, they are a local, but
Made a statement that they were a multi-million-dollar entity or nonprofit.
I happen to be a care fishing coach, so I'm very familiar.
So am I.
I'm very familiar with the program, but I see homeowners with all kinds of things come, so. Motion is on the floor.
Motion is on the floor
And you know that the department getting compensated on some level is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in favor of the motion? You're in favor.
I am. I was gonna say, I'm like.
So, all right.
It's my motion.
Hold up your arm there.
Anybody, it's all those not in favor of the motion. So it's everybody except, yeah.
You convinced us.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it.
Good luck.
All right. Goodbye. And just, you know, we need to do it this summer. Because once the spawning season starts, we can't.
Well, how does that work? Isn't is he gonna be able to do it this summer or is there like, a lot of work to be done in the river since then?
Yeah, I mean, this is just a fee waiver, so,
I
you guys, the agency's still gonna review the application.
Well, yeah, but the application isn't gonna be now till
August.
So how are you gonna get it done? Oh, okay, all right.
But once October starts, the wild trout will start spawning.
Okay.
So we have to wait till the next year.
Okay. All right, well, sure.
Thank you
You're
so
all set
much.
for tonight. Thank you.
I appreciate your help.
For
the fish.
Yeah, fish. Roman numeral
Birds
9.
for the fish.
And if you guys want to learn how to fly fish,
In
let
the
us know.
nicest possible way. Declaratory ruling request, number 1, 400 Dunham Road, Yun, map 221, parcel 2, installation of raised garden bed within a regulated area, staff recommend approval. If information gathered is satisfactory to the agency and in accordance with the Fairfield WWR. I don't know what that is.
It's regulation.
Oh, my God, okay.
Of course, it's
That one stumped even
It's
me.
late,
I
it's
know.
late.
This is what happens when we don't get a break.
I'm
We need a snack break.
Hello.
Good evening,
Good evening.
commissioners. How are you?
How are you? If you give us your name and obviously your address is
Yes.
400 Dunham Road. So what is it that we're gonna try to do for you?
My name is Bradley Yoon. This is my mom.
Hyung-suk Yoon.
We were here last month,
Yeah.
meeting. We asked, to allow us to build our own garden area in our regulated area. Two commissioners came out last Wednesday to walk the site. And here we are.
Okay. Well, it's declaratory ruling based on a farm exemption, right? What do you guys feel? What do you guys think? You're doing
I
it
say
right?
yes. I move that we approve it.
Okay, any second to?
I second
Well, wait,
it. We
discuss this
second
more.
it,
Great.
and I think it would be a positive thing.
Okay.
So I
So you have a
second it.
motion on the floor?
Yeah.
There's a motion, it's been seconded, we can discuss it.
Okay, gotcha.
Unless I get cucumbers.
I mean, intuitively, I'm not in favor of it. Being right in the wetlands itself, I'm very troubled by. And to me, that's pretty much a no, but what I would say is it's a gentle use. And, that part I'm comfortable with.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so then all those in favor?
Are you gonna do something? I mean, is there gonna be some spillover for the animals that might, some sort of benefit?
Any dogs that might be walking
them some
by?
broccoli.
All right. Those
With the
opposed?
camera.
Hold on, folks, we're in the middle of it.
Those
Those
dogs
opposed?
take great pictures.
I'm good. I'm a yes.
Go to
Oh,
work.
you were a yes?
Yes, I'm a
Oh,
yes.
you were a yes. Kate, were you
I'm a little,
You
I'm
wanna
a little
abstain?
anxious about, I'm gonna abstain.
Okay, then.
Maybe you should know that it.
You know, I didn't walk it. I looked at the pictures. I
Okay.
feel like it's in the wetland. I'm a little, I don't want to say no, but
It doesn't matter.
Pictures were
Quite
great.
honestly,
Okay.
it passed, but
Yes,
however you
yes.
want
I'm
to
gonna
be,
abstain.
you abstain?
I'm not saying it's negative. I'm not confident.
That's fine. Congratulations. Good to go.
Appreciate it, guys.
So it was yeses, they're approved from everybody except one abstention. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
My address for the cucumbers is.
If you guys want the Korean cucumber speak,
Oh.
come on over.
It's already- it's already
you.
All right, you're welcome.
Good night, guys.
11 bills and bond releases, number one, IWP 2013-14-08, Garden Homes 92 and 140 Bronson Road. Demolition of existing structures, construction of multi-level apartment structure, parking and drainage within a regulated area. Request from William Kenny Associates for final bond release of $96,290. Staff recommends partial bond release of $76,290,000. Hold the remaining $20,000 for implementation of the stewardship easement restoration and management plan for 5 years. That's what you guys are feeling? What is the stewardship easement restoration management plan? I don't.
This is also just so everyone knows, could picture it in their head, when you're on I-95, this is the large building up again on Bronson, up against the river that you can see from
You
from
can't see at night because it's lit up so much.
the one from the highway,
Yes,
next to the
yes,
river.
the Jordan,
Tracks
yep.
and
Yeah, just so you could visualize. It's a big building. That's why there's big dollars.
Yeah.
Sarah and I walked it last week.
Okay.
And that's,
Yeah, this was also one that was approved
Long time ago.
a very long
What-
time ago.
Okay.
that's the 2013-14 number,
Yeah.
so.
Yep.
Way before, we were
Maybe
here.
for all of us, pretty much.
So I can make a motion to release the bond of 76,290, holding the remaining 20,000 for implementation of the stewardship easement restoration and management plan for 5 years.
And I'll second that.
Okay, and all in favor of that? And I think that's all around.
Well worded.
There we go. Number two is WP 24-0092 MK 2024 Family Home LLC, 680 Old Academy Road. Corrective action for wetland restoration and invasive species removal within a regulated area. Request from William Kenny Associates for final bond release of $14,000. Staff recommends partial bond release of $7,000, holding $7,000 for 2 full growing seasons. Smart. Okay, and
Sarah and I also walked that the same day, walked through the meadow. If everyone recalls, this was a violation related to clear cutting within a couple conservation easements on private property and regulated area of inland wetlands where the applicant originally wanted to plant a farm with fruit trees. Everything looks very nice. The native grasses in the meadow are doing well. Everything's stabilized, but as standard procedure is to hold some funds, bond funds for those 2 growing seasons.
so 1 growing season occurred, and so it's not 2 more years, so it's
Correct.
gonna be next year. Yes. Okay, just want to be clear. Okay, any motion for that?
I move that we do that.
Okay, any second to that motion? And seconds, all in favor?
Yeah.
Crew, you got that, right? You that joke? It's okay. All right.
Sorry, I
now-
can't help myself.
Well, it's late, and you know what? This is just the effort we're putting in, so we don't have a meeting for a whole month, so it's okay, all right? Legal and enforcement actions, what we'll be doing from now on, I think, is you guys have the agenda, you can read them if you want to, but I'll leave it up to Tim to give us any update that's pertinent that we would need to know. So just, you tell us what you think is,
Anything earth shattering.
yeah.
Under section XII, we have 8 listed total. I'll provide updates on numbers 2 and 3. Number 2.
12, yeah.
Number 2 is Hurley, 120 Merwin's Lane. This is the one, as you recall from my previous updates, where there's an owner and a tenant issue. The citation was actually issued after this was published. That went out actually yesterday, so per town attorney's direction, we issued the citation to both parties, the homeowner and the tenant. I will say again on the record that the property owner is very cooperative and in constant contact with the department and myself specifically. There's been zero communication from the tenant since this be initiated in April. We'll see if the citation and deadline is effective. If not, I'll recommend filing suit beyond that. And then number 3, Black at 270 Bronson Road. I've spoken about this one multiple times. As you can see, citation was issued March 13th. There's been also zero response or correspondence between the property owner and the department. They've received NOVs, citations, and notices. So at this time, in consultation with the town attorney, I will request of this agency that your permission or approval to initiate formal suit in Superior Court to stimulate corrective action.
Excellent. Okay, any commissioner want to do a motion that we authorize our agent to assist town attorney in filing suit as of June 17th?
I'll make that motion. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, any seconds to that motion? Ted, seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes all around. Okay. Anything else under updates there?
Not at this time. The department staff, we've been pretty diligent, and there are some new violations over this week so far. So we'll provide those at the next at the August meeting.
Okay, now moving on to Roman numeral 13, staff report. Report from the Conservation Department, CWC permit application received 7. Notice of violation issued 0. Ooh, guys are slacking, my
Yeah.
gosh.
2 weeks between the meetings.
So to highlight Sarah's flow, that's 7 applications in 2 weeks.
Ouch. See, citations issued 0, bond releases 0. Okay, and then for other, it's site walk scheduled for not August 29th, 2026. It should be July 29th, 2026, so that we can see them before the August 5th meeting. And A is 41 Cherry Lane, B is 290 Long Meadow Road, and now C will be
Mill River.
yes, Mill River. Thank you. Okay. And that's any other others for anybody?
Luke, just a
Yes.
suggestion to revisit the public hearings.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
So just
Thank you.
before
It is
Because
getting,
we don't-
no, it's.
The decision has to be made in 35 days,
Yep.
and we don't have another meeting.
No, we
Just so
don't.
we're not
We can do
advertising.
it. That is my intention. We were gonna do it now, so.
do
Let's,
that.
we're going back to number 1, WP-26-0046. Land Tech 476 Millville Terrace. I'll map 228 parcel 30, but I'll start with by saying what Commissioner Hood says, that presentation was pretty good. Pretty good. So any.
I just, it's so.
I like what they're doing.
Yeah, it's an improvement.
It's a good, yeah.
Yeah.
It should be a model.
Okay, I like it.
I move that we approve,
Yep, any second?
including the conditions from staff.
Yes.
Second.
Diane seconds, all in favor? Okay, that one goes all around, very good. And now, number 2, WP-26-0051. This and Mead. 121 Winton Road, map 143, parcel 163. That one was just as good, though. What do you guys think of that? You think it's off?
I was confused by that.
You were,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, the land was a big sponge. And then they put a bunch of pipes in. So then it eliminated flooding for everybody who lived around it. It was maintained by the association. And then somebody bought the property and the property had been listed as not being available to build on. And to the whole association thing and the homeowner confuses me as to who has legal rights there to do. You know, the building and the proposal, all that's good. I've got no.
Well, that's all we can talk about,
Yeah,
you know, so.
No, what they're doing is good. I just don't understand the
I got you.
context to it.
Yes, sir.
I just have a philosophical problem with the fact that they could have designed this differently. They didn't have to put driveway between the two wetlands. They could have gone out to Round Hill. They could have moved the house. They could have moved the pool. And I understand that I think they really did a good job in designing the whole thing, so it wouldn't have a negative impact. But I sort of wonder if we should be approving this sort of thing when they could have easily done something else that was almost out of the URA.
20 feet left or right. They couldn't put everything underneath there and put a road on top of it. It's only 20 feet left or right.
I suppose.
Well, they probably could have, but they're not.
I don't know if they could. I don't know.
They're not
They have the
required-
driveway, I don't know.
They're not required to. I mean, you're saying that, you know, they should have, they're not required to.
Yeah.
They're not required to, but
Really, what's in front of us is the information that the
Right,
expert
right.
provided.
The impact.
And-
yes,
and
I
that's-
understand that.
But
It's
I
just,
understand what you're
again,
saying.
it's a philosophical question where
Right.
what is the purpose of a URA? It's not to build a house.
Yeah.
If they can put it somewhere else.
If they could, we don't know if they can put all those
Well,
utilities
he-
underneath. the
That's
road.
why I
He also
asked him
said-
about
He gave.
other,
His response was that what was implemented into the plan included the prudent and feasible alternatives. We could have done.
question that.
No, I don't question that, right? Because you could have done a regular impermeable driveway and do
Well,
culverts.
That's true.
That's the
I'm
plan.
not saying their
That's the plan.
plan is
Yeah.
bad because I think they really
They did do it.
tried very hard
Good
to
job.
Yeah.
mitigate the effects of it.
I'll also say, there's not very often that we get neighbors
Support
that
it.
come in and
Well, that's
support it.
true.
You're right.
So, I mean, it's like at that point, it's like,
It was weird getting that
yeah, because
letter at the last minute from the association with all of those issues and all of a sudden, oh, no problem now.
yeah.
I was expecting a dogfight and
Well, that's when I saw the people ask Tim in the beginning, like, oh my God, these people must not want this.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
the
yeah.
problem here? When they were coming up, yeah, I'm here in support.
the neighbors, seem to- they
that's a
seem to
good
be doing a
sign.
good job of
Very
telling their
rare,
neighbors
very
that.
rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, very rare.
My understanding, though, is that there's some sort of agreement in there to raise the mower height. That's what I heard.
Yeah, yeah.
Was I wrong about that?
No, that was part of it.
That was part of
No, I
it.
think
Except in
they
the-
take
That's part of it.
that.
It's an
And
additional
what he's
We're not
planting
talking
there,
3 feet, we're just talking some
4 to
sort
6
of,
inches.
No, but-
No,
some
that's,
sort of concession.
and what he's planting there, the various plants he's putting there, they're low growing, but they have much deeper roots than turf grass. They're much more beneficial than, typical lawn.
But he's putting in some major trees too.
Well, right, he's doing a lot, but on the low meadow.
Yeah, I know.
Which is what you were concerned about.
I think I would be more comfortable. I think I'm happier with the higher mow height.
Yeah,
I-
yeah.
you know,
no,
like-
Then you mow less often, you mow
That's what I'm
less.
saying. I feel like that was my.
Do whatever you want.
And I'll tell you, that clover grows fast. It really, something quickly.
Well, it's very visible. I mean, if they're not really gonna be doing what they agreed to, it's really visible.
okay.
Okay.
Any motion for that one?
I move that we approve.
I second it.
With the
With
conditions
conditions.
that
With the
were
conditions.
talked about at here, staff's conditions.
Adjusting the mowing height.
To 4 to
Right,
6
right, right,
inches.
Yep.
All in favor? So that was Ted's motion and.
Rick.
seconded?
Oh, I didn't
Rick second. So we're all in favor. Very good. And I think that might be.
Is that it?
Might be it. So good summer, folks.
Yeah.
Unless anybody else has any others or anything.
I'm other down.
It's two of them.
That's very nice.
This high up the ground.